This is Daybreak for Wednesday, December 9th. Coming up, an outburst quickly puts an end to a prayer vigil for a mother and her young daughter. We were there.
And we know what charges Dontavis Lloyd will face after being taken into custody this time yesterday.
Plus, as people call on city leaders to end violence in Omaha, groups around the metro are already working to do just that. This morning, I explained the message behind Abide's lighthouses.
And temperatures starting off mild again, and we're heading into the 60s. Believe it or not, today we'll have the hour-by-hour forecast coming up.
Already one accident out there on the roadways. I'll let you know where that's at and what areas you should avoid coming up in traffic.
Welcome to WOWT NBC Omaha, your morning home for news, weather, and traffic. This is WOWT 6 News Daybreak.
Good morning to happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm Cerise Cole.
I'm Dave Zavolinsky, joined by Jordan Shefty and Rusty Lord, who continues to deliver some good news.
Bringing it, Russ, this week.
I noticed none of you guys have contributed to the tip jar.
We need to do that.
Yes, that'd be good. Maybe buy a guy breakfast for the nice weather.
We know what's coming.
We could do that.
Well,
sometime.
Yeah, at some point.
At some point.
Let's take a look at what we have going on today. Temperatures are going to be in the 60s this afternoon. I'll be a brief hour and a half. We climb into the low 60s about 3-4 o'clock is when that happens. 30s when you head out this morning, turn into 50s quickly by noon, and that 62 by 4 o'clock. Beat that, Jordan.
I can't this morning because I've already got an accident, unfortunately. We'll go ahead and take a look at our map today. That accident coming in right at I-680 and Pacific, right in that area. The accident is in the northbound lanes. Now, reportedly, the cars are moved off to the shoulder, so shouldn't cause too many traffic problems. But if you do see flashing lights, that is what that is in the area. And taking a look at I-80 this morning, we'll go ahead and pull up our camera right in this area. You can see as we pull it up, there we go. Not too bad of traffic here and near 72nd Street. Cars moving along just fine. Dave and Cerise.
All right, Jordan, thank you. We have continuing coverage this morning as emotions run very high following a violent crime from Sunday. Pain and anger over Sunday's devastating shooting leads to an outburst at a prayer vigil for a young mother and her 2-year-old girl. Well, now the family is praying the community can come together and end the violence.
Well, this morning, the man accused of killing 2 and wounding 3 others is behind bars. But families of the victims tell us the arrest of Dontavis Lloyd only brings them so much relief.
Friends and family members of the victims gathered to pray for peace, as we just showed you. Among them, Destatia's sister, Kanatia's aunt, who told us her family did not approve of Lloyd's lifestyle, but that he and her niece were close.
She probably saw him come in the house. How Kanasia is, she'll run to you and try to give you a hug. And the fact that is that he say that he shot her first, that means she was running to him trying to go hug him.
Well, again, Kanatia was just 2 years old. Also speaking out after Lloyd's arrest, his mother.
She asks us not to show her face or give her name, but says she is heartbroken over the crime her son is accused of.
I'm hurt, I'm angry, and it's just sad. No excuse for something like this. This is awful.
Lloyd faces a total of 11 charges, among them 2 counts of first-degree murder and 3 counts of attempted murder. And since this shooting on Sunday, people have offered prayers, condolences, and asked for more to be done by the city. Mayor Stother says it must be a citywide effort to stop the violence.
This is not one person's fault. It's not one person that is the solution, or it's not one person's responsibility. You know, it's the whole community.
6:04 right now, and as city leaders work to address violence here in Omaha, a number of groups in the metro have made that their mission. That's right. An example, the Abide's Lighthouses in North Omaha. Jenna Jane joins us now from a lighthouse with how it all works. Jenna, good morning.
Good morning, Dave and Cerise. This lighthouse is one of those examples that you talked about. It used to be run down and not looking so great in the neighborhood. It actually was an eyesore for a lot of the community here and brought down the value. Again, that is until Abide stepped in and did a complete remodel, making it a lighthouse and moving in the Zollicoffer family. Now their home is completely redone and filled with noise. Candy and Wesleyan act as a lighthouse family advocates for the neighborhood that really get to know their neighbors and be a model healthy family. Then together, the families learn from one another about things like parenting, raising a family, and relationships in general.
Having someone in the community that can be the example. And it's not really coming on the white horse to save the day, but it's really by interaction and by relationships how things start to change. So
the Zolikoffers are perfect examples of this model since they started to get to know their neighbors before they even moved into this house. Now they say they do things together like date night or even just walk around the block to really get to know everyone. And Dave Cerise, Wesleyan adds that rebuilding these houses is a very tangible way to show regrowth and redevelopment. And it's also taking that sore spot and really making it beautiful, an example of what everyone can do throughout every part of their life.
So many simple acts of kindness, but it certainly goes a long way.
It's important just getting to know your neighbors, walking out, talking with them. That can make a difference, Jenna.
Yeah, definitely. And all of these houses that are being rebuilt by volunteers and different groups in the community. So it's a full effort by the city.
All right, Jenna James reporting live this morning. Jenna, thank you.
6:06 right now, changing some gears here between tablets and our phones. Staying off the internet may be harder than logging on these days, and actually a new study is backing that up.
All right, according to the study by the Pew Research Center, 73% of Americans say they use the web on a daily basis. Of that number, 21% say that are online almost constantly. That's what they say. 42% admit to using the web several times a day. I guess I'm not really shocked by these numbers.
Actually, call me crazy. I thought they would be higher.
Yeah.
71% would be a little higher. I've been checking my cell phone plan to see how much data we use. Oof. I'll tell you what, that'll tell you how much you go on the internet in a month.
I was going to say, unless I'm like on vacation in like Mexico or out of the country, I'm on my phone and checking
all of us
everything. Yes,
have our phones with
part
us
of our
right
job.
Now. Yeah,
yeah.
It's relaxing if you just set it down once in a while.
Yeah. All right, 6:07 right now. It is a crime that has many shaking their heads or licking their fingers. A father-son duo was arrested by New York authorities for stealing chicken wings.
The problem wasn't just that they were stealing them, but they were selling the stolen chicken wings as well. $41,000 worth of chicken wings to be exact.
Paul and Joshua Rojic placed orders over the course of 9 months at a Syracuse restaurant, and then they resold the chicken.
Yeah, both of them are now sitting in jail where likely no chicken wings are being served there.
You're disgusted by this.
How do you sell? Okay, first off, you got to have a big freezer, otherwise they got some issues. Sounds gross.
I didn't know there was such a market for chicken wings.
I guess.
Definitely a bizarre story out of upstate New York this morning. Moving on, it's not the most thoughtful gift, but it certainly makes a statement. Thanks to an Australian startup company, you could have coal delivered to someone this Christmas if you so choose.
Yeah, the startup is simply called Send Coal, and for $14, you can send someone one piece of the mineral with a short message.
The site's creators say they have already had quite a few orders, actually. You know, if you don't behave, you get a lump of coal. There you go.
You've been asking what we're getting you for Christmas, Dave.
As long as I get something.
There's a few orders placed already.
It means you care as long as I get something. I'll accept
on the way.
Well, Rusty is giving us the gift of good weather again today, Russ.
Yeah, it's working out well. Don't send me any coal, please.
No.
And I don't think that really means that you care if you get a lump of coal either.
Right.
Let's take a look at what we have going on. Few clouds floating through, but for the most part, we're going to have quite a bit of sunshine today. May have a few more clouds this morning that we have to burn through, but temperatures are pretty mild to start. All these numbers at least above freezing. A couple exceptions. Norfolk at 30, Columbus at 28, 33 though in Fremont, and 35 in Omaha as of right now. So for today, we'll go 35, relatively clear skies at 7, 54 by noon, and 62 degrees by 4 o'clock today. Southwest wind about 10 to 15 miles per hour. I think there's just enough cloud cover to get in the way and keep us shy of a record, which is 64 today. So bummer, right? We're not going to quite make it to that. 63 for the high on Thursday, record 71 then, so nowhere near that. A little breezier on Thursday, I should say, out of the west. Those winds will kick up 10 to 20 miles per hour. And then keep an eye on the weekend. Rain possible Saturday into Saturday evening, and then we could mix in some snow with that on Sunday, but this doesn't look like a huge weather maker for us this weekend. I think it's more of an issue east and south of us, but close enough that we have to watch it in case the track were to change a little. And you can keep up to date on our WOWT 6 News app for the latest.
So when you say breezy on Thursday, is that going to bring more air, or is it going to make it feel cooler than 60?
That's a west wind usually warms us up this time of year, drags it off the Pacific Ocean. So
all right,
we'll see how that goes.
Sounds good, Rusty. Thank you. Time for first birthdays here on a Wednesday morning. Just one to celebrate today. So big birthday greetings go out to Price Schroeder. His parents are Josh and Kelly Jo.
Price loves watching Barney, playing in the bathtub, and reading books. If you want to share a picture of your little one, all you have to do is log on to WOWT.com/firstbirthdays and upload your photo and tell us all about that soon-to-be 1-year-old.
Just remember, we got to have those photos and descriptions at least 1 week in advance. 6:10 right now. Coming up in just 10 minutes, a woman is determined not to allow a car thief to ruin her holiday. We've got that story coming up.
But up next, the Iowa City community does something special for the Hawkeye football team. We'll have that and this reminder as well. You can stream all our newscasts live to your tablet, smartphone, and computer.
Welcome back. Time now is 6:42. Traffic starting to pick up this morning. Taking a look out at your interstate system. I-80, 680 still looking pretty good this morning. We'll pull up our camera. You can see you might have a little bit of mist to deal with as you make your way in, but definitely not that heavy rain / snow that we were seeing yesterday morning. We do have a couple of trouble spots out there. 1110 KFAB's Lucy Chapman joining us live with those. Hey there, Lucy.
Good morning, Jordan. Yeah, just a couple, and that's pretty good news considering what we had yesterday. 22nd at Leavenworth, you've got an accident there. Should be getting close to the clearing stages. And on the Martha Street Bridge, just west of 24th, it's eastbound. You've got a stalled vehicle in that location. For WOWT 6 News viewers, I'm Lucy Chapman with 1110 KFAB Time Saver Traffic.
Lucy, thank you. 6:43 right now. Tonight, the Republican presidential candidates take the stage in Las Vegas for another debate.
It comes right on the heels of a new NBC Wall Street Journal poll that showed Hillary Clinton would defeat Donald Trump and Ted Cruz if the general election were held today. Well, the same poll also indicated Clinton would lose to Marco Rubio or Ben Carson.
Well, tonight's debate will be moderated by CNN News anchor Wolf Blitzer. It's split into two parts. The main debate is at 7:30, preceded by an earlier debate for the candidates trailing in the polls. Secretary of State John Kerry is in Russia this morning for meetings with the foreign minister and Russia President Vladimir Putin.
The leaders are meeting to discuss a political transition to end Syria's civil war in an effort to restore stability in eastern Ukraine. Well, former POW Sergeant Bo Bergdahl could face life in prison, charged with desertion and endangering fellow soldiers. An Army general ordered the general court-martial, going against what Bergdahl's overseeing officer recommended. Bergdahl was held in captivity by the Taliban in 2009 until he was released to the U.S. For 5 Taliban members in a very controversial exchange in 2014.
Well, Bill Cosby has filed a lawsuit against 7 women who accused him of sexual assault. Cosby says the women defamed his character and purposefully derailed an upcoming TV project. More than 50 women have accused Cosby of sexual misconduct dating back to the 60s. To this day, he's never been charged with the crime.
6:44 right now. The force has awakened for Hollywood's biggest names. Last night, the world premiere of the newest Star Wars flick happened in Tinseltown.
Yes, it was a big night for the film, directed by J.J. Abrams, and by the looks of it, it will be a big weekend as fans are already camped out. Can you believe this? For Thursday's advanced showing, they're already out there.
Been out there.
We've been out there for almost a week now. I think we started reading stories about that. No doubt. This is good. Hey, the people who saw it had to leave their cell phones outside, correct?
Yes.
They had to check them at the door, but a few people gave hints that it is living up to the hype.
Yeah, Hollywood blew up. Everybody was tweeting about it. We saw some of those, and people are pretty impressed. They're not saying much. There we go, right there.
Some pictures from the premiere last night outside of the Chinese Theater in Hollywood. Pretty cool.
People dressed up as Yoda.
Yes.
Stormtroopers.
Yeah, even the Iowa Department of Transportation got caught up in the Star Wars fever. Take a look at this.
The DOT posted 5 different Star Wars messages on the electronic billboards across the state. This one says, "The Force is strong with you. Put down the phone."
And another one had the line, "Road rage, let the Wookiee win."
I like those.
That's good.
Very clever.
Get a good message across. That works out well.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a very good message, but we're going to talk about it regardless because this is the part of the show where they let me talk. So, visibility issues for the most part, not too bad. A little bit of fog around the area, 3 miles of visibility, Fremont and Omaha. And we'll watch for a few of these maybe worsening at times, but there's a little bit of mist and drizzle. The good news is everybody's at least 32 degrees or warmer this morning, so we shouldn't have many slick spots, if any. 35 in Omaha and Plattsmouth, 35 in Tacoma as well. You have an east breeze as you head out the door. This is going to rotate a little bit. It'll be out of the southeast by the time you head home from work, and it'll pick up a little bit too because of this storm system getting closer and closer. It's really going to pick up some steam here, and you're going to notice it dragging band after band of snow through western Nebraska. So if you're traveling today, flying into Denver, double check the flights. Going west on I-80, once you get to North Platte, road conditions are going to go downhill in a hurry. You can see near Mullen and Thedford. Things are going to get a little dicey here as we go through the day. But for us, we have just a layer of clouds, layer of gray over top of us, and that's the way it's going to be at 7 o'clock. Mid-30s, stay that way through 9. And then even with the clouds around, southeast breeze starts to kick in. We'll jump into the upper 30s, but notice by noon, we're seeing some snow start to sneak into the map west of the metro. Norfolk, Columbus, and points in between could see a little bit of snow and sleet out of this by 3 o'clock. But after 4, I think anything that develops close to the metro is going to be rain showers. Notice how it's a little better bet further northwest. So if you're watching in Fremont, Schuyler, Columbus, Tacoma, better bet you see some rain out of this. It should be warm enough that it's all rain. We're in the low 40s. We'll actually keep warming up through the evening. So even as the rain tries to move out, we'll be at 45 degrees for the high very late tonight. Tomorrow's early morning high of 42 goes in the books as the high temperature. And temperatures will actually start to fall off during the day. With a few morning flurries, I wouldn't worry about them too much, but strong north winds drag in colder air, and that's sticking around through the end of the week. 33 Thursday, 34 on Friday. Guys?
Rusty, thank you. 6:48 right now. We have continuing coverage this morning as one person is dead, several others in the hospital after a really bad crash in Saunders County last night.
Now, the sheriff tells us a church van was making a U-turn along Highway 109 when it was hit by another vehicle. The driver of that car was killed. The passenger is in critical condition. The van involved was full of teenagers. All of them are expected to be okay.
Also of note here, a firefighter was injured. We're told they were hit while they were directing traffic around the crash last night. So far, we have no condition information regarding their injuries. Obviously, a developing story here, and we'll give those updates to you on air and online. Well, only on 6, an eyewitness that was in the apartment the night a young mother and her daughter were killed says that night could have been prevented.
Jamie Latner says she wishes the police would have done more to keep her friends safe. Our Jenna James joins us now with what she thinks officers should have done. Jenna?
Good morning, Dave and Cerise. Jamie Latner says that during that rampage, suspected gunman Dontavis Lloyd shouted out no witnesses. She says that because of that shooting, she continues to have nightmares. That shooting claimed the lives of her friend Dastasia Strawn as well as Dastasia's daughter Kanasia. She also says that she has those nightmares partially because she thinks the whole thing should have never happened. The night before the shooting, Latner says Dastasia had just broken up with Lloyd. That's when the threats started. On Sunday, a police report shows that Lloyd took Dastasia's car and then returned with it that afternoon. At that point, Dastasia, scared of what would happen, called police. Now, police say they made contact with Lloyd, and Lloyd's mother says they dropped him off at a nearby gas station where a family member picked him up. Hours later, he returned to that apartment with a gun.
They would have just listened to what she had to say and just took their word for it and just like at least held him for 24 hours or something, did some kind of investigation, then it would have never happened.
I hope that everybody knows that if I find wrongdoing, I will address it.
Now, Chief Schmatter says that he has opened an internal investigation into just what happened during that original call. Latner says she is appreciative that there is that investigation, but she still believes that something more could have been done beforehand. And Dave Cerise, she says her as well as the other women who were in that apartment have been getting threats from Dontavis's friends. She says she has told police about those.
Jenna, what is the status of those officers under investigation?
For the time being, until that investigation is over, they will be placed on administrative leave.
All right, Jenna James reporting this morning. Jenna, thank you. Well, happening today, the trial for a man facing a long list of charges is set to begin in Sarpy County.
Among the charges against Dylan Doblin, kidnapping and assault. Back in July, his bond was set at $5 million. Doblin is accused of kidnapping Nicole Siswerko from a daycare center, then stabbing her when she tried to get away. Well, we are learning more this morning after a woman found stabbed in her home over the weekend. Friends and family of Linda Chase say she will be remembered best for her really big heart. They say that big heart may have played a part in her death, unfortunately. The main suspect, the man Linda knew, Isaac John. Family and friends say for now they are holding on to what made them love her most.
She wouldn't hold nothing back, and I think that's what people loved about her, is the realness, the such realness that you got from her.
Well, the family is accepting donations at Centris Credit Union to help pay for burial costs. All of that information can be found over at WOWT.com. As for John, he is behind bars this morning in Douglas County, waiting to be arraigned.
6:51 right now, and it is the busiest time of year for the U.S. Post Office. Yesterday, more mail and packages got sent out than any other day of the year. Well, now there's a whole lot of work to do to make sure those deliveries get where they're going.
Listen to these numbers. This holiday season, the post office is going to deliver 15.5 billion with a B cards,
Wow.
letters, and packages. Now, on average, workers sort through 506 million pieces of mail per day. Obviously, it's no easy task, and they'll work as long as it takes to get the job done.
We have some late nights where we're keeping out there till we get everything delivered each day, and there's a little bit of overtime out there, but we've stayed right on top of where we should be.
Well, we want to remind you some of those important deadline dates that are fast approaching. This is the last day for standard domestic shipping for Christmas delivery. The 19th is the cutoff for first class mail.
You will have until next week. If you want to pay extra for Priority or Priority Express, you can find all of those dates as well as estimated shipping costs on the USPS app. It also makes it easy to track your holiday packages. Well, it is a reality all parents can agree on. Raising children is expensive, but an organization new to the Metro is working to help foster families with some of that expense.
Now, the Foster Care Closet is providing families a break 2 times a year while building up confidence and wardrobes for the kids.
It can truly be life-changing. For some of our kids, it'll be the very first time they've gotten new shirts, new pants, new shoes.
Well, the closet runs off of donations, so to help, you can drop off clothes in good condition at Omaha Home for Boys. The closet opens January 4th.
6:53 right now. Fallen Officer Kyria Orozco continues to be recognized for her dedication to making Omaha great. Yesterday, Omaha police and members of her family accepted the Enrique Camarena Award in her honor. Officer Orozco was one of 30 national nominees for the award, which recognizes someone working to make their community a better place. 5:54 right now, and in just 11 days, the Husker football team will be fighting to give fans a late Christmas present. On December 26th, Nebraska faces UCLA in the Foster Farms Bowl in Santa Clara, California.
The Bruins finished the regular season with a record of 8-4. They actually had a shot at playing in their conference title game, but they lost to USC 40-21 on Thanksgiving weekend. Nebraska coach Mike Riley knows UCLA will be another tough challenge for his team.
I think this is a great matchup because it's a great challenge. This is a talented, athletic, fast football team. Our first impressions are speed. They have a terrific young passer. The guy's a good quarterback at a young age. He doesn't play young. He looks very poised.
All right, again, the Foster Farms Bowl is the day after Christmas, which very conveniently is a Saturday this year. Kickoff set for 8:15 Central Time. The game will be televised on ESPN from Santa Clara, California. Of course, Ross Jernstrom will be out there giving us all post-game coverage throughout the weekend.
Lucky. Fingers crossed.
They got a really good young quarterback. Early in the year, there was even talk he might be a Heisman candidate.
Yes.
He kind of faded it a little bit.
Got off to a hot start. Kind of hit that proverbial brick wall as freshmen tend to do. We'll see if the time off has helped him. Another big test for the Huskers. They had a good month of November, though, beating Michigan State. So we'll see.
The weather should be nice for folks going to the game.
Santa Clara.
Right?
Hope so. A lot better than it's been here the last couple of days. We take a look. We're in the mid-30s right now. The clouds are going to be with us all day. About a 40% chance of a shower after 4 p.m. today. They shouldn't be too heavy. Better chance northwest of us. And we'll actually keep warming up. Should reach about 44, 45 degrees right before midnight tonight.
And the roads looking much better than they were yesterday morning. Thank goodness. We are tracking just one accident. Should be well into the cleanup stages by now, 22nd and Leavenworth. Other than that, still clear out there on the roadways. Here's a look at I-80, 680. You can see a bit of mist and fog in the metro, but no major delays or tie-ups to report.
Hopefully a bit smoother than yesterday.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
The weather should help with that cause.
Yeah.
All right, before we leave you this morning, we got to share a story that we came across this morning that certainly had us smiling.
Us here on Daybreak appreciate a morning jam out session, and we found a dog that shares that exact same thought. man. If my wife's watching this right now, she is loving this.
Marky Mark would be so proud. Plus, we love a dog that appreciates the 90s.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Did you hear it?
Just
good vibration.
Yeah, good vibration.
The tongue makes it. When that tongue is bobbing around there for the little
He
dog.
is grooving. I wonder if that's his jam, if he has other songs, or if that's the one that gets him
That
going.
looks like it's the one.
We all have our jam, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Well, coming up later on the Today Show, all eyes are going to be on Donald Trump and Ted Cruz ahead of tonight's big debate. They'll have a preview coming up.
And that is going to wrap up Daybreak for us on this Tuesday morning.
If you're heading out the door, get the latest look at the hour-by-hour forecast. Check on the traffic, too, in the Good Morning Show on 1110 KFAB.
Have a great day.
WOWT 6 News is everywhere.